Hi, welcome back to yet another day of Tim's PC building process. First off, I need to say thank you to so many of you. I have received so much positive, good feedback and support for this whole entire process. Honestly, it is a first world problem for me to fix the computer. There are much bigger things happening in the world. But to get the amount of support and just positivity just thrown my way. One, it took me back because I was not ready for it. People were asking to donate to my help on PC. People were helping out through the process and just asking whatever help I needed. So I just want to say thank you. That stuff I never ever take for granted, and it means a lot. Really does. Secondly, while waiting for my computer parts to come in, I am planning as much as possible to be as efficient as possible. So as soon as this is up and running, we are ready to go full send, boom boom, into videos, content, just non-stop. It'll be great. And thirdly, we have a lot to do today, so let's get started. So today I actually have the power supply grounded this time. Thank you to Sith Noir for recommending that to me. I actually had no idea it's supposed to be grounded, or else it won't be able to dissipate that electricity and that static buildup that I have in my hands. So today, my favorite part of the computer building process has come in, which is the RAM. I don't know what it is. It's just so satisfying, full on futuristic to put in a chip. It's like Iron Man putting in his chip for the arc reactor. That's how it feels like when I put in a chip like this. 16 gigs each. Probably upgrade to another set of 16 later, but 32 should be way more than enough for both video editing and gaming. Now before I put in the RAM, I am going to film it for sure. So one thing I was thinking of is, what's a different way I can manipulate the light? Before we kind of just revealed the product as we kind of just waved this overhead, right? But I was thinking, what if I did a quick spin instead? So that way it gives a little bit of variance to it. So right now I have the light stick set at about around power of 30. And then I'm gonna put both RAM here on the table. I don't want to introduce any kind of movement for this one. I just want a very nice, clean light shot. Oh, and I just thought about it. And see, when I'm doing this whole process, the one question I'm always asking myself is, what can I do differently? What can I do differently from something I've never seen before? So aside from that static shot, the one type of static movement I did want to introduce, the one thing I did want to do is overlay a mask. So to do that, I'm actually going to take these sticks of RAM and I'm going to block the frame of the camera just like that. So then they'll go back and forth. There'll be one slot of RAM and a second slot of RAM. I know it's kind of hard to visualize, but try to picture with me before we get into the final edit. So one slot of RAM goes down, and as it goes down, it clicks into place, and there'll be a clicking sound effect into the motherboard. And then the second one will go down right after it. But then I want it to be very seamless and very smooth. So every time doing these cinematic showcases, I'm always trying to give myself as much flexibility as possible in the edit by A, always including a variety of shots, and B, trying to do things differently every time. And I want a close-up shot of the click so I get a nice little sound effect in post. It is not a DIY construction building effort if you're not forgetting something. So apparently, I had no idea that the graphics card, so when you put in the graphics card into the motherboard, it's gonna be horizontal. And with the liquid cooling that I got for this computer, the whole point of that is to display all of your parts. So if the graphics card is inserted horizontally, then you get a very thin view of the graphics card, and that's not the point. The point is to see the whole wide view of the graphics card. But in order for you to see it wide, it needs basically an extender cable called a riser cable. So I just ordered that today, and it should be in hopefully by Thursday. Just waiting, more waiting. And the reason why I'm getting liquid cooling, A, I don't want another overheating issue, especially with the amount of components that I have in here. B, it looks really cool. So is it extra? Yes, of course it is. But it looks cool. You know what's weird? I just remembered a moment. So I needed some screws to attach the motherboard to the case. The thing is, I remember having like a plastic bag of tie wrap, but the thing is I don't remember where I put it. So I looked around for a good half an hour. Let me tell you where I found them. So apparently, Leon Lee puts it whole box right here. I mean, that doesn't answer my tie wrap memory for some reason, but this is what I need to attach the screws to the motherboard. Okay, so now I opened up the back here, and these 4 cables have to somehow connect to the motherboard. These 4 cables are all like the power buttons and stuff, and the USB all along the cross of the tower right here. Question is, which one goes where? Hopefully that's inserted correctly, because apparently if you don't, it can short circuit the board. That's awesome. So there are 10,000 cables this comes with, but luckily I think I figured it out. There's one main 24 pin cable that goes to the motherboard, and this one goes to the power supply. Next up, CPU cable. Molex cable? Have no idea what Molex is or what it does. Can't plug in the GPU card yet because my GPU riser cable is not here. What a day. Okay. So it looks like I'm gonna put my old station over there, and then just in case I need to work with it for now, but for the most part it's gonna be off. And then once my new PC gets built, it will be in my new station here. It just sucks because it's kind of cluttered right there. It just sucks because there's so much clutter there, and then when I'm moving my studio table around a lot for different types of the filming that I've done, but it's okay. Won't fit anywhere else, so it will do. So that is it for day 2. Thank you again for keeping me company on this PC building process. Day 3 tomorrow. Actually, these just came in. So the RGB fans came in, but I can't put them in yet because I need the radiator for the case before these can actually even be attached to anything. So tomorrow is a very, very big day. I'm just gonna wait. Gonna wait for the mail to arrive. And the second those lovely people hand me a Christmas gift of RGB lighting and liquid cooling, I am going to get started on that. So that is very exciting. Tomorrow is definitely going to be the most difficult, but the most fun day. I'm probably going to plan out how the piping is going to go in the system, because I right now have no clue how it's going to look like and where things are going to connect, but that is my research for tonight. Thanks again for joining me, and I'll see you all on day 4. 4? 3. 1.